Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto got banished and got harem with Temari, Hotaru and Shizuka. Part 6. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. Naruto, after finishing his visit to the Fuma clan, was back on his travels. He was currently walking around a snowy terrain somewhere in the high mountains on another island past Kiri at night. The sky was so dark from the snow clouds it looked darker than usual. He trekked through the snow-falling weather in his winter where he wore when he visited Koyuki. Brr, it's freezing. Naruto shivered as he bundled up. Well, you're the one who wanted to come to this part of the ninja land. Was it really a reason worth it? Kurama thought to him. Hey, the new hot springs that opened up around this mountain had some great hits, so I want to check it out for myself. He thought back. You know you'd make it there faster if you flew. Kurama reminded him. In this weather, I'd never be able to see my way through all this snow, and that sky is darker than. Who said you had to fly that high? You can still fly at a ground level. True, but I'd much rather walk this time. I can think clearer this way. It's still on your mind, isn't it? Yeah. Everything Itachi told me about the Uchiha clan, about the village. It's too much to ignore. I don't understand why he'd entrust me with a secret such as this. He obviously has a lot of faith in you. More than anyone else. Probably, still I can't even talk to anybody about this secret. I mean, what if I told Bosan and Erosenin? If they tried to go at the council about this, they'd ask for proof, and what would they tell them? I learned it from Itachi. They'd probably go into denial. Then you do believe him? I want to. I mean, that's some serious stuff he told me, but if it's all true and this whole Nuke thing is part of his mission, then I guess I'll have to work with it unless things get really hairy, especially if one of the Akatsuki members is the one responsible for brainwashing you into attacking the village years ago. He continued walking the snowy trail up the mountain, leaving behind footprints in the snow that was getting covered up by more falling snow. He looked up ahead and saw a light through the blanket of snow. As he got closer, he saw a building up ahead. There it is. He gasped and he started running through the snow before finally reaching the hot springs. Upon entering, he left his boots at the door and shook the snow off his jacket. The hostess that saw him enter was a young woman about her late 20s. She had chestnut brown hair in a Harem style, and wore a purple and red kimono. She gasped in shock. Oh my goodness. Sir, did you travel through all that snow? Hey, it was worth the travel to come here. Naruto said, removing his jacket, and shook some more snow off himself. Well then, please, welcome to the Yuki Springs. My name is Kiriko and I shall be your hostess. Please make yourself comfortable. She greeted him. A pleasure, ma'am. Naruto returned the gesture. I shall show you to your room, you must be freezing. Kiriko offered. Arigato, Naruto said as Kiriko led him. As they walked through the foyer, Naruto asked, is anybody else here? Actually, two people, both ladies. One's older and one's younger. The hostess answered. I see, Naruto answered until his vision suddenly went dark and he froze in place, realizing his eyes were being covered by a pair of hands, and to top it off he could feel a pair of round, well-proportioned fists pressing firmly into his back. Big, but not big enough to be Samly's, maybe Hotaru. He thought. Hey there, stranger. A female voice said behind him. Naruto, hearing that voice, mentally gasped. I stand corrected. The hands were removed from his face and he spun around, coming face to face with Shizuka of Nadeshiko. Shizuka. Naruto. Shizuka cheered as the two embraced happily. You're staying here too? Naruto asked. Yes, me and Tokiwa. Kiriko looked over. Oh, you already know each other? Shizuka and I go way back. Naruto explained. Emphasis on way. Shizuka joked and the two laughed. Well, I'm glad to see you are acquainted. Kiriko said. Tokiwa and I were planning to head for the open-air bath. Would you like to join us? The busty Kunoichi asked. In a minute, just have to get unloaded. Okay, I'll see you then. Shizuka said as she walked off. I'm at a hot springs inn with Shizuka. What wonderful luck. Naruto thought in excitement. You realize her escort is with her too? Kurama thought to him stoically. Hey, she knows Shizuka and I are to eventually get married, so she'll probably let us have some alone time. If you say so. Soon Naruto followed Akino to his room where he unloaded his things before slipping into a robe. Okay, now to head for the baths. He collected some bath supplies before heading for the open-air baths. He placed his things in the basket before wrapping his waist in a towel and pulled open the sliding screen to see the big open bath, and its occupants were Shizuka and Tokiwa, who were relaxing on the edges of the bath with both their bodies wrapped in towels. Hey ladies, room for one more. The two turned and saw Naruto standing in the entrance of the bath. Naruto, it's good to see you again. Tokiwa greeted. Likewise, Tokiwa, Naruto replied as he slowly sunk himself into the water. Yeah. After traveling through all that snow, this is exactly what I need to warm up. He stretched his arms upward. Why did you decide to come here, Naruto? Shizuka asked as she sat next to Naruto in the bath. Well, I heard that this inn was quite popular, so I decided to check it out. What about you two? I heard the same thing and decided to check it out as well. Shizuka added. And being Shizuka's guard, I am obligated to accompany her in every travel. And I was also curious of this inn as well. Tokiwa admitted. Well, that's good, it's better than being in someplace like this alone. Naruto admitted. Agreed. Shizuka said as she relaxed. So what have you been up to since you last visited us, Naruto? Tokiwa asked. Well, a lot, one of which was I met my old friends from Konoha again, and they're doing okay. And did they miss you? Shizuka asked. They said the village has been hell without me. At least in their opinion. He joked, causing Shizuka to chuckle with him. Well, it's nice that you're still able to keep your friendship alive with those in Konoha who you cared about. Shizuka said. Yeah, but still I've had some bad exploits as of late. Naruto admitted. How so? Tokiwa asked. You know how I told you two about the Akatsuki organization? He asked and they nodded. Well, they're already on the move. On the move? Shizuka asked. Yeah, one of my friends and fellow Jinchuriki Gaara, Suna's Kazika-gi, was abducted by two of them. They successfully extracted the bijou within him and he died. Oh dear. Tokiwa gasped. I'm so sorry, Naruto. Shizuka apologized to him. Don't worry about it, he continued. One of the elders of Suna knew a special reviving jutsu and brought him back to life by transferring her life force into him. Gaara was revived, but the elder died instead. We had a ceremony in her honor and for her sacrifice. Well, that's a relief. And what of the Akatsuki members? Tokiwa asked. Well, my former teammates Kakashi and Sakura took down one of them. I thought I destroyed the other one, but he pulled a fast one on me by pretending he destroyed himself. Now he's still out there with all the other members. Naruto sighed at his failure. It sounds like the members' escape is not your only grief. Tokiwa noticed. It's not, he admitted. The fact is I had a vision of Gaara being abducted. I didn't take a chance and flew out to see if it was true, and it was. We tried to locate them as fast as we could, but by the time we got to their lair it was too late. I failed to have saved him in time before he lost his bijou, and worse, the Akatsuki has the first of the 9 bijou. If they collect all 9, I can only surmise that the ninja land will be in turmoil. The two women looked at Naruto, seeing how much this failure affected him. Shizuka wrapped an arm around Naruto and pulled him close, surprising him. I know how much this affects you, Naruto, but remember, a failure only leads to better success for next time. Naruto looked the girl in the eyes, seeing she was serious about it, and smiled. Yes, Shizuka, I know that. That's why when they strike again I'll be ready. In fact, I already know who their next target is in mind. And who is that? Tokiwa asked. Yujito ni. She's a Kyumo Kunoichi. The two were surprised. How do you know that? Shizuka asked. I met her a while ago, along with the Hachibi Jinchuriki, another Jinchuriki from Kumo. I see. Shizuka answered. I warned those two to be wary of members of the organization and they took my word for it. I'm surprised that the Kumo shinobi didn't try to abduct you themselves. After all, some of the larger nations have been known to find ways to build up their military power through any means. Tokiwa said. Maybe, but those two and the three shinobi they were with weren't that bad. They were actually, in the words of one of them, cool. Tokiwa stood up. I think I'm going to get out before I get dizzy. Will you be alright, Lady Shizuka? Of course, Tokiwa, you go on in and get some rest. Will you both be alright here? She asked them. Don't worry, Tokiwa, Naruto held Shizuka close, I'll take real good care of her. He chuckled. Tokiwa nodded and left the hot spring, leaving the two alone. They relaxed at the edge of the bath, looking up at the night sky as it snowed. Isn't it beautiful? Shizuka asked. Sure is, Naruto admitted as he felt Shizuka rest her head on his shoulder, but I know something even more beautiful. He smirked. Oh, what? Shizuka looked at him as he turned to face her. You, of course. He planted his lips onto hers and they passionately kissed. As they did, Naruto reached down into the water and opened up Shizuka's towel and put it on the ledge without breaking lip contact. Now that Shizuka had nothing covering her perfectly busted body, Naruto began massaging the firm, perky orbs. As he massaged her, Shizuka let out moans or relaxation in between their lip smacks. When they parted, Naruto spoke. I'm glad I got to feel these girls again. He needed her breasts. It's only been 4 months. Shizuka teased. It was a long 4 months. Naruto emphasized, resulting in Shizuka giggling as the two continued fondling each other in the bath. Soon both of them were out, and after a nice warm dinner, Naruto decided to play a little tune on his banjo for Shizuka, Tokiwa, and Akino. The three sat as Naruto began playing a tune. When Naruto finished, he plucked one final chord for a finisher and the three ladies applauded. Thanks, ladies. Glad you all enjoyed it. That was a wonderful sound. Kiriko complimented. Thanks, I do have a certain reputation with this. Naruto admitted. Yes, and it's well known throughout most of the ninja land. Shizuka added. Naruto chuckled before yawning. If you all don't mind, I'm turning in. Have a good night, Naruto. Kiriko bid him a good night. We'll see you in the morning, Naruto. Shizuka added. Sleep well. Tokiwa finished. I intend to. Naruto said as he headed back to his room. Meanwhile, outside the inn, 3 familiar AIM shinobi wearing white body suits and breath masks had been looking at the inn through a telescope. That's the place. One of the AIM ninja asked, who had cloth wrapped over his eyes like a blindfold. Yes, Kagari, that's where he is, the second one said, who also wore cloth like a blindfold over his face with only his left eye visible. He turned to the third member who had both eyes visible through his blindfold mask and asked him, well, Oboro, what do we do? We'll strike tomorrow, Mubi. Remember, we're on the job and our employer is paying us very handsomely to exterminate him. Oboro said. And it's a special bonus since we're finally getting even with that gaki who humiliated us in that blasted forest. Kagari said. Right, now come on, let's find shelter. Oboro said as the three left. Elsewhere around the mountain, a carriage puppet designed like a horse was walking through the snow when on the inside was Kokuya, Shizuka's lunatic of a stalker. Yes, soon princess you shall be mine. The very next morning, outside the hot springs, in Naruto and Shizuka both dressed in winter wear while looking back, seeing Tokiwa and Kiriko. Well, we're off. Naruto told the ladies. You be careful out there. In this snowy weather there's no telling what will happen. Kiriko warned them. Are you sure you don't want me to come along as well, Shizuka? Tokiwa asked. We're just going on a little walk, Tokiwa. Shizuka assured her. And we're more than capable of handling things by ourselves. Naruto added. Well, okay, just be wary out there. Tokiwa warned them. Will do. Come on, Shizuka. Naruto said as the two started walking off. The two shinobi walked around the snowy mountain enjoying the crisp and cold snowy mountain air. What a good day for a walk. Shizuka said. Yeah, I'd actually prefer this over Suna's desert. Naruto joked and the two laughed. Watching them from under a white camouflage blanket to blend in with the snow was the AIM ninja trio. There they go. Kagari said. Alright you guys, let's move out. Mubi ordered his team as they slowly crept after them while not blowing their cover. As Naruto and Shizuka continued walking, they stopped by a cliff side and looked out over the mountain. What a nostalgic sight. Shizuka smiled. Yeah, it's beautiful. Naruto admitted. Naruto, where do you plan on going to next after your visit at the hot springs? Shizuka asked curiously. Not sure, he admitted, maybe I'll head back to my hideout and rest for a while. I'd like to see your hideout sometime. Shizuka said. Well, it's still not as much, but give or take some years and it will become my new land and nation. Naruto promised. And I will be certain to make an alliance with yours. Shizuka promised. Naruto smirked as he glanced over at her dog pile. He tackled Shizuka into the snow, taking her by surprise. Naruto, what are you? Shizuka asked as he rolled with her in the snow. Having fun, of course. Naruto answered as they laughed while playing around in the snow, unaware that the three AIM ninja were still watching them. Now? Oboro asked. Now? Mubi answered as they jumped and released a barrage of shurikens. Naruto, look out! Shizuka called as she pushed him out of the way and rolled away, avoiding the attack. What the? Naruto asked as he saw who attacked them. You three. Surprise, surprise. Kagari said. Do you know them, Naruto? Shizuka asked. Yeah, I've had an encounter with these three during the Chunin exams 3 years ago, and while on another mission in the land of tea. You got lucky all those times because you had your team to bail you out, but this time they're not here to save you. Oboro mocked. Save me? What makes you three so sure I need saving, especially from the likes of you? Naruto asked. Because this time the odds are in our favor. Kagari answered. Shizuka frowned. You three obviously don't know who you're dealing with. Does it even matter? Oboro asked. Yes, because not only are you three out of your league against me, but you're looking at one of the toughest kunoichi in our generation, Princess Shizuka of Nadeshiko. Princess? Mubi asked. Nadeshiko? Kagari asked. That's right, so you three really think you can take us both on? Naruto asked with a smirk. We'll do more than take you both on, we'll slaughter you. Kagari announced as they performed their Oboro Bunshin no Jutsu, Hei's clone technique, like in the Forest of Death, creating multiple copies of themselves. They can summon clones like you too, Naruto? Shizuka asked. Hardly, these are only illusions, but the three are hidden amongst them all and can attack you from behind. Naruto explained. Any way to identify the real ones? Shizuka asked. Only one way for me. Naruto smirked. Attack. Mubi ordered as the clones charged while the real three hidden in the group planned to attack. Sorry boy, but I gotta repel you. Naruto announced as he crossed his arms before spreading them out, releasing his psychic force, pushing all the clones away while the real ones rolled across the snow. What did he just do? Oboro asked. It's like he used some kind of futon on us. Kagari said. Close enough. Naruto smirked as Oboro attempted to attack him head-on, but Naruto aimed his finger at Oboro's arm like a gun, aim, and shoot. Suddenly Oboro clutched his arm in pain, for Naruto simply used his psychic power, firing it like a gun at Oboro that was strong enough to make Oboro feel like he was really shot at by a drilling force. Get the girl. Mubi ordered Kagari as they went to attack Shizuka, who used her taijutsu to block their attacks and knock them away. Still confident you can take us on? Naruto asked as he and Shizuka stood ready for more. Princess. A familiar voice called as they looked, seeing the horse puppet approach with Kokuyo popping out of it. I have come for you. Naruto and Shizuka gawked at his sudden appearance while the AIM shinobi were confused. Who's this wiggler? Kagari asked. Someone who can't take a hint. Naruto announced. You again? Kokuyo asked, must you stand in the way of me and my bride? I am not your bride, Kokuyo. Shizuka shouted, I am Naruto's bride. So why don't you take your puppet slaves and go on back to where you came from? Naruto finished. What the hell is going on here? Oboro asked his team. I don't know, but it looks like we've gotten into another's affairs. Mubi answered. Well, he's in our way. Kagari called as he went to attack Kokuyo, who saw him coming. Intruders? I think not. Kokuyo unleashed one of his robot-like puppets who attacked Kagari. Puppets? Mubi asked. I'm warning you, AIM shinobi, do not get in my way or I will use you as my own puppets. Kokuyo warned them. We'd like to see you try. Oboro called as it was a three-sided fight going on between them until they looked and saw the sky was darkening and the snow was getting heavier. What the? Kagari asked. Snowstorms blowing in. Naruto called. If we stay out here we'll get lost. Shizuka warned everyone. Not you and I. Naruto grabbed Shizuka and flew off, escaping the group. They're getting away. Oboro called. After them. Kagari called, about to hurry after them only to be stopped by Mubi. Are you nuts? You'll never be able to find them in all that snow. So what do we do? Oboro asked. We'll have to find shelter and track them later, but first, Mubi turned to Kokuyo. Hey Gigi. My name is Kokuyo. He said while crossing his arms. Whatever, how would you like to help us crush the redhead? Mubi offered. What's in it for me? Kokuyo asked curiously. In return we help you claim the Nadeshiko princess. Mubi bargained with Kokuyo. Kokuyo's brows rose in interest as he thought about it before answering, you got yourselves a deal, boys. Good, but for the time being we must find shelter or we'll be lost out here and freeze to death. Mubi said as the four went to find some shelter. Meanwhile, Naruto and Shizuka had escaped the four enemies and were trekking their way back to the inn. I can't see anything. Shizuka said as she shielded her eyes from all the incoming snow. Neither can I, and there's no way we can make it back to the inn. Naruto added. But if we don't find shelter then we'll freeze out here. Shizuka said. Naruto tried looking around hoping to find somewhere and thought, Kami, if you love me, you'll save me. And if not me then save us for Shizuka's sake. Naruto, look. Shizuka pointed ahead of them. Naruto looked and saw a cave up ahead. Arigato. He thanked Kami as they hurried inside to escape from the blizzard. Doesn't look like this snowstorm is going to let up anytime soon. So we'll have to wait here until then. Shizuka understood. It's the only way. Naruto said as he started plugging the opening with snow. What are you doing, Naruto? If we let the cold wind come in we won't be able to keep warm. Naruto warned her. Seeing he was right, Shizuka decided to help him in piling snow up to keep the entrance covered. Meanwhile at the inn, Kiriko and Tokiwa watched the snowstorm pick up. They should have been back by now. Tokiwa said. There's no way they could make it out through that storm. Kiriko feared. Tokiwa looked out into the blizzard from inside the inn and thought, Shizuka, Naruto, both of you be safe. Back with the two inside the cave, Naruto and Shizuka went into the far back of the cave, seeing it was deserted. Good, no bears living inside this cave. Naruto sighed in relief. Maybe, but what do we do now? We're lost and it's freezing in here. Shizuka's stomach gurgled, and I'm getting hungry. Naruto smirked, not to worry, I'm prepared. He pulled out a summoning scroll and unsealed some firewood. Naruto, I'm impressed. Shizuka gasped. Hold your applause until you've warmed up. Naruto said, using a fire jutsu to light the firewood, and soon they had a campfire. Yes, this is much better. Shizuka said as she started warming herself up. I know these aren't much, but these are all I currently have on me. Naruto said as he unsealed 2 big ramen cups from another seal. It's good enough. Shizuka admitted as Naruto started cooking the 2 cups over the fire. When they were heated enough, the two started eating, feeling the warmth of the food cool their insides. Delicious. Naruto said as he placed some of the noodles in his mouth. Doesn't it worry you though? Shizuka asked, being caught up in a snowstorm while hiding out in a cave while we have enemies out there. While I do feel edgy, I can't let that distract me. After all, they can't find us in that storm. That's just like you, Naruto, never showing fear in the face of danger. Shizuka smiled. It's just me. Naruto chuckled as they laughed and finished their meal. Shizuka started yawning with her eyes drifting off until she snapped her eyes back open. Oh sorry, I'm just getting a little tired. Well, we can't exactly fall asleep or we'll freeze. Naruto said. How can we stay awake? Shizuka asked. Naruto thought before an idea popped in. I'll play us a tune to pass time. He took a scroll and unsealed his banjo. This is a little number for you, gorgeous. Shizuka blushed as Naruto started playing a tune. During the playing, Shizuka started to lean on Naruto's shoulder as she enjoyed the music. Soon Naruto and Shizuka started cuddling with each other, sharing each other's body heat while Naruto blushed from the feeling of her breasts pressing into his chest. He sat his banjo aside and wrapped his arms around her, pulling her into a deep kiss where they started make out, knowing the heat they'd build up would keep them warm and awake. Within the hours, Naruto started hearing the sound of birds coming from outside the cave. Shizuka listened. Shizuka listened in and gasped, sounds like the snowstorm's over. That means we can find our way back to the inn. Naruto said as he went to the closing of the cave and started digging their way out with Shizuka helping. As they dug, Shizuka listened, hearing something outside. Naruto, do you hear that? Naruto listened in with Shizuka, wondering what they were hearing until the snow wall burst, sending them backwards. They looked back, seeing Kokuyo and the 3 AIM shinobi using a giant puppet that burst the snow, permitting them entry. There you are. Kaguri called. We knew we'd find you in a place like this. Oboro said. Why re the 4 of you together? Naruto asked in confusion. We've made arrangements. Mubi answered. Yes, I helped deliver you to them, and I get the princess. Kokuyo grinned like a Cheshire cat. Bad guy team-ups, classic. Naruto admitted. The 4 enemies entered the cave, followed by the robot puppet as Mubi spoke. It's the end of the line for you both. We got you trapped in here. Naruto suddenly smirked. On the contrary. I got you 4 trapped. He did hand signs before slamming his palm on the ground. Gamaguchi Shibari, toad mouth binding. Suddenly the inside of the cave started turning into a soft malleable organ, along with the opening closing up. What the hell is this? Kaguri called as his feet started sinking into the supposed ground along with the others who were getting stuck to the walls. Shizuka, don't move. Naruto ordered as she remained frozen. We're now inside the esophagus of a mountain toad from Mt. Mayaboku. There's no escape form inside this belly. He manipulated the organ ground to pin the 4 onto the wall so they couldn't use and hand signs, while the organ crushed the puppet into the wall. What a technique! Shizuka gasped. I had to learn it with the toads at Mayaboku myself, Naruto admitted as he looked at the 4 captives. You made it clear while you're here, Kokuya, but you 3, however, I want answers. Who sent you after me? We're not telling you shit. Oboro said, being tough. Naruto sighed. You just want to make things difficult. Well, I'll show you what happens when you don't cooperate with Naruto. He walked up to Oboro and formed a hand seal before calling out, Kiru no Jutsu, frog conversion technique. He slapped his palm on Oboro's forehead and poof, Oboro was gone. Oboro. Mubi called. What did you do to him? Kaguri demanded until they heard croaking. They looked down at their feet, seeing a frog hopping around. Oboro? Mubi gasped. Yup, Naruto said, using his psychic to levitate the frog up. Because he failed to cooperate, I gave him a taste of what happens when you don't answer me. Now then, who's next? He grinned like a maniac before Kaguri cracked. Orochimaru. A guy named Orochimaru hired us to find you. Orochimaru? Naruto raised a brow. Yes, he wanted us to track you down and bring him your corpse. Kaguri continued to spill the beans. Where are you meeting him at? Naruto demanded. We'd rather die. Mubi spat. Your call. Naruto said, using the same jutsu on Mubi, turning him into a frog as well, freaking Kaguri out some more. We're supposed to meet him at the Tenchi Bridge in Kyusugakure 3 days from now. Naruto smirked. Was that so hard? So does this mean you'll let me go? Kaguri asked hopefully. Not just yet. I still might have use for you and your team, but until then. Naruto used the jutsu, turning Kaguri into a frog which was levitated up with the other two. Shizuka gasped. Naruto, wasn't that a little much? Don't worry. I can reverse the jutsu at any time, but for now I'm keeping them like this so I can use them later on. He turned to Kokuyo. As for you, clearly you cannot take a hint when someone says no to you. So allow me to show you what happens to someone who can't take a hint. He once again used the jutsu, turning Kokuyo into a frog and was levitated up. Hey Shizuka, you ever wanted a pet? Shizuka smirked, looking at the frog that was once Kokuyo. I do now. Good, Naruto said as he ended the jutsu, turning the cave back to normal. I better stash these 3 someplace until I need them again. He used the summoning jutsu to summon Gamakichi. What's up, Naruto? The toad asked before shivering. Geez Louise. What are you calling me in the middle of a snowy mountain for? Sorry for the inconvenience, Gamakichi, but I need you and the others up at the mountain to keep these 3 contained. He levitated the 3 frogs up to the big orange toad. Who are they? Gamakichi asked. 3 AIM shinobi sent to kill me by order of Orochimaru. Keep them contained until I need them for later, and when you have the chance tell Geezer Sage to send a message to Ero Sennin about how I may have found another lead to Orochimaru. Do it and all the flies you can eat. You mean that? The toad's eyes lit up. Cross my heart. Naruto promised. It's a deal. Gamakichi said as he wrapped his toad tongue around the frogs and vanished. Naruto and Shizuka packed up their things and bundled back up before stepping outside the cave. Seeing the snow was calmer and they could see through it clearer. Alright, let's get back to the inn. Naruto said as he flew them both off for the inn. At the inn, Tokiwa hadn't slept all night because she was worried about her princess. Kiriko, who also been keeping an eyes out for their return, squinted her eyes seeing them approach. Tokiwa looked up seeing them both. Shizuka, Naruto. She raced outside and checked her princess. Shizuka, are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? I'm fine, Tokiwa. Really I am. Shizuka calmed her guard. Naruto, and I just ran into a little trouble. Trouble? Kokuyo once again tried to take Shizuka. Naruto explained. What? Where is he? Tokiwa demanded. Right here. Naruto levitated the frog over. I'm confused. Tokiwa said, eyeing the frog. It's not a big deal, only that Kokuyo can spend the rest of his days like this. Naruto smirked as Kokuyo frog ribbited. We're so glad you both came back safe and sound. Kiriko sighed. How did you manage out there in the blizzard? We managed to find a way to keep warm. Naruto answered as he and Shizuka blushed. Well, at least you both made it back. Kiriko nodded. Yeah, but being out there in all that snow and coldness, I could use another soak in the open air bath. Naruto said. You and me both. Shizuka said as she stood at his side. Shall we? Naruto offered her his hand. Delighted. She accepted it as the two walked off. I can't imagine what it must have been like for them out there. Kiriko said. Don't worry, they said they managed to find a way to keep warm and leave it at that. Tokiwa answered. After finding out from the AIM ninja trio, Naruto had discovered Orochimaru had hired them to kill him. Though they failed, Naruto used this opportunity to his advantage by capturing the 3 with intentions of using them to get to Orochimaru. How will this plan of Naruto's go? That is where the story continues. Naruto, after his trip to the snowy inn and seeing Shizuka, headed out for Kusagakure where the AIM ninja were said to rendezvous with Orochimaru. When he arrived he stopped by a section of a forest where he stood before a bridge that connected two cliffs with a ravine below it. He looked at the bridge's title, the Tenchi Bridge. So this is where they're supposed to be meeting Orochimaru. Well, I still got 2 days to prepare for this, and I better make up a good plan if I'm going to take Orochimaru down for good this time. That's assuming he's even going to show up. Kurama thought. I know, Kurama. For all we know he could end up sending Kabuto in his place or someone else. If that occurs I'll have to find a way to make them take me to him, personally. And let's hope this time it won't be someone pretending to be him, just like the incident with the Fuma clan. You and me both, Naruto answered before turning around and headed back to the town outside the forest. Upon returning he walked through the town looking for something to do. Soon he stopped in front of a bar and looked up at it, maybe I'll get a drink. Naruto walked into the bar and made no eye contact among the locals so not to start something that could lead to a bar fight. He took a seat in a booth until a cute 18-year-old waitress with chestnut brown hair, blue eyes, and an 87 centimeters bust line with her cleavage peeking out, "What'll it be, sir?" she asked with a smile. "I'll take a stiff drink," he looked at the waitress name tag, Siko. "Coming right up," Siko said as she went to get Naruto his drink. Naruto kicked back in his booth enjoying himself until he heard a familiar chuckle coming from the booth behind him, so that's when after I successfully turned that nuke Nin to the proper authorities we partied like we were kings. Is that so? A young woman's voice asked. How brave. Another said. Yes, well, helping people wherever I go is what I do best. The man chuckled as Naruto glanced back seeing it was Jiraiya hitting up on ladies as per usual. Then a waitress came by putting down Jiraiya's check. Your check, sir. Of course. Jiraiya said as he was about to pay until Naruto came back around. That won't be necessary, he placed some money on the table, this one's on me. Hey old man. Naruto. Well, ain't this a small world? Jiraiya chuckled until the two women got up to leave thinking the old man wanted to be alone with the young man. Hey, where are you going? Don't go. He cried in sorrow. Sorry about that. Naruto chuckled as he took a seat with him. Well, they'll be back, Jiraiya sighed as he gave Naruto his full attention. Fancy meeting you here. I find that unlikely, Naruto answered. You and Basan did get the message from Geezer Sage, right? We did. So I had figured you'd be here, so I rushed as fast as I could. Jiraiya answered. Then I take it you want in on this as well? Naruto smirked, already knowing his former mentor's answer. I do. Jiraiya nodded. Well, more the merrier. Naruto replied as Siko came by giving Naruto his drink. Oh thanks, Siko. Listen, are you? 5 o'clock, that's when my shift ends. She winked at him before getting back to work. Jiraiya watched with an agape jaw at how his student managed that, but chuckled, Naruto, you never cease to amaze me. I got the charm, Ero Sennin. Naruto chuckled as he took a saucer of his drink. So I take it you made a plan before actually coming here? Jiraiya asked hopefully. That I do, but it requires the 3 AIM shinobi I've captured. Naruto explained as he continued having his drink. I see, well, we'll discuss this elsewhere, Jiraiya said and gave another look. By the way, I heard what happened in Suna. Oh, you did? Naruto asked. Yes, now you see even more what the Akatsuki are capable of. I know, Sasori of the Red Sands according to Sakura and Kakashi was tricky with his puppets and poisons, Naruto began, and Deidara, I actually thought I had him, but you know I think he survived. Survived? How can you be sure since you saw him blow himself up according to Kakashi? Jiraiya noted. Call it an intuition. Naruto answered, wanting to keep the fact he learned this from Itachi a secret. Well, I hope you know what you're doing now that the Akatsuki have already started their move. Gaara was lucky Elder Chio knew such a technique to give him life again, but if you get caught as well you won't be so lucky. Jiraiya warned him. Naruto, keeping a calm look, answered his former master, you have every right to say that. And I don't want to sound like I'm too beepy, but with Kurama's chakra, my jutsu, and power I stand a far better chance against the Akatsuki than I probably ever would have in the past. I do understand that, but just remember you don't have to carry this burden alone. If ever you need me, don't hesitate to write. That is after all why you had Fukasaku-sama give me that message, right? Jiraiya reminded him. Guilty. Naruto smiled, knowing Jiraiya could tell that much. After Naruto finished his drink, Siko came back and accepted his payment before slipping her a generous tip in her lower pocket by her ass, making her blush. Well, since you have plenty of time before you meet up with her, why don't we go someplace else and discuss the plan you have in mind? Jiraiya offered. Alright. Naruto said as the two left the bar to discuss the plan. Later at 5, Naruto returned to the bar, seeing Siko was waiting. She was out of her waitress attire and was wearing sandals, blue pants, and a low-cut green shirt that, just like her waitress outfit, exposed a good amount of her cleavage. Nice to see you waited. Naruto admitted. Well, I don't have much to do after work anyway, so I decided to take you up on whatever you have planned. Siko replied. Well, come with me, sweetheart, and I'll show you how to have a good time. Naruto said as he linked his arm with hers and they hurried off. After having dinner at a nice restaurant and a moonlit walk, Naruto brought Siko back to the inn he was staying at and both were inside his room. Naruto brought out his banjo and spoke, "Here's a little number going out to you, Siko." He started playing his banjo while Siko sat and enjoyed the show. Siko listened to the tune as she waved her right index finger around to the beat, clearly enjoying the sound of Naruto's playing. When Naruto finished, Siko started applauding while sporting an overjoyed smile. "That was wonderful, Naruto." "Thanks, I've had years of practice doing this," Naruto admitted as he placed his banjo back into its scroll. He then noticed Siko climb onto the bed and sat next to him, pressing her right shoulder into his left one. "I really had a good time tonight, Naruto," Siko admitted as she smiled at him, putting a blush on his face. "Well, I really had a good time with you as well, Siko." Naruto returned her a smile, making the girl blush as well. Siko thought to herself, "Naruto, he's absolutely amazing. First we have a magnificent dinner, a beautiful walk under the moonlight, and now a magnificent piece of music with a voice to match the melody of his instrument. Where has this diamond in the rough been all my life?" Naruto suddenly felt Siko rest both her hands on his left one, grabbing his attention as she looked him in the eyes. "Naruto, truthfully, I haven't had so much fun like I had tonight in years." "Seriously?" he asked while raising a brow. "Yes, most of the other dates I've been on were with guys who do nothing but yap on and on about what big shots they are and never asking me about myself, and even when I do they just zone out like they get bored before I even begin speaking," Siko explained. "Wow, you must have been falling for the wrong guys." "No offense," Naruto replied. "None taken, but tonight with you was better than any other night I had with a guy. So arigato." She leaned her face close to his. "Please let me express my gratitude to you a bit more." She puckered her lips up and Naruto thought, "Oh damn, she's going forward with me this quickly. What do I do? Do I go along with it, or reject it? But I don't want to spoil the moment, even after what she just told me about herself. Oh hell with that, I'm going on instinct," he thought as he moved his face closer and the two had started kissing. As they two kissed, they started putting their tongues inside each other that battled for dominance. Siko, caught up in the heated moment, realized she still had her hands clasped on Naruto's left hand, managed to take his right hand as well and placed them firmly on her breasts. Naruto, caught up in arousal, didn't even try to remove his hands from their resting spot. On instinct he kneaded the two orbs together, earning moans out of Siko. He continued fondling the girl's breasts through her shirt until they went downward and went up through the bottom of the girl's shirt as he continued pleasuring her jugs. When they broke, Siko sat up and lifted her shirt up and off, exposing her bosomy assets contained in a black lace bra. Taking the hint, Naruto pulled his shirt off himself and pulled Siko towards him as they kissed again while rubbing their chests together, causing the girl's nipples to harden beneath her bra. "Naruto, please be my first," Siko panted through moans. "Really? I mean, I just met you, I don't really have sex with girls I just met," Naruto replied. And personally you shouldn't have sex with men you just met. It should be with someone special. Naruto explained. Siko looked Naruto in the eyes, seeing how sincere he sounded, and smiled. You're right. Well then, how about we get to know each other a little more? That is, if you're sticking around any longer after tonight. Actually, I am sticking around a bit, but the day after tomorrow I'm gonna be busy with something. How busy? Top secret busy. In fact, I might not come back alive. He joked with a hint of seriousness. You mean? Siko gasped. Yeah, there's a good chance I could possibly get captured, or killed. Naruto continued piling on the drama as Kurama thought in sarcasm. Trying to get a rise out of the girl through drama. What won't you try next? Ignoring Kurama, Naruto continued, but if you really want to, I guess I can use whatever time I have to get to know you better. So if I do die, I can at least tell the boys upstairs I got to meet a beautiful woman. It's a date, Siko answered, but for now can we continue? Sure. Naruto smirked as he continued making out with the half-naked girl. After that nightly round, Naruto used the next day to map out the plan to Jiraiya. When the day had arrived it was roughly around noon, and the sky was looking a bit cloudy. The three AIM shinobi who were transformed back into humans thanks to Naruto undoing the jutsu were waiting by the Tenchi bridge. Oboro looked to Mubi, are you sure this is going to work? Don't worry, it's all good. Mubi assured him while holding a bag that had something inside it. Look! Kaguri motioned up ahead and they looked, seeing two figures approaching while wearing cloaks with hoods up. When the two figures stepped onto the bridge, Mubi looked to his partners, let's go. They stepped onto the bridge and met the two strangers halfway. When both sides made it to the center of the bridge, the AIM shinobi looked at saw the two strangers were Kabuto and Orochimaru, Lord Orochimaru. The three ninja bowed to him. So you three made it right on time, Orochimaru snickered, I assume your mission was a success. Well, it wasn't easy given the fact the kid was stronger than you let on. Kaguri answered. We did warn you he'd be a problem. Kabuto reminded him. Yes, but nevertheless we succeeded in our mission. Mubi said as he held out the bag he was carrying. Is that truly what I think it is? Orochimaru asked with his trademark grin. That depends, do you have our reward? Oboro asked. Of course, Kabuto. Orochimaru motioned to his number 2 man approached and held out a case and opened it up, revealing a generous fee. Alright then, we hand you off the head of Naruto Uzumaki, and we'll take our pay. Mubi said. Agreed. Orochimaru said as both sides placed the bag and the case on the ground. Mubi and Kabuto took the object of what the other had and brought it to their side. I guess we should be heading back to our village now. Kaguri said. Hold on. Kabuto spoke up, catching their attention, I want to be certain that this really is what you say. Understood. Mubi answered. Kabuto opened up the bag and reached in, pulling out Naruto's severed head that looked roughed up. Naruto, how I wished I could have seen you decapitated. Orochimaru snickered. As Kabuto started to inspect the severed head, the cloud started moving away, allowing the sun to shine down. When it did it, Orochimaru got a better look at the shadows of the three AIM shinobi and saw the shadows didn't match their outlines. He saw that they matched others he knew too well. Tell me boys, just how were you able to subdue Naruto like this? Orochimaru asked curiously. We used our illusion technique in conjunction with the blizzard we were all caught in. Mubi explained, noticing Orochimaru's shift in behavior. I see, Orochimaru began as his eyes continued glancing at the shadows, then how do you explain this? He launched his shadow snakes at the three, surprising them and Kabuto. Suddenly the shadows of the three AIM ninja turned out to be Jiraiya, Naruto, and a spare clone. They jumped backwards, avoiding the shadow snakes as the three AIM shinobi looked around. What happened? Mubi asked. We were being manipulated. Kaguri called. Naruto turned to Jiraiya, well, the Gamma Dera Kagi Ayatsuri no Jutsu, Toad Flat Shadow Control Technique, was a partial success. Yeah, wish we could have gotten a better drop on them though. Jiraiya replied. Fakes, then what is? Kabuto looked at the severed Naruto head that exploded in his face, releasing smoke that blinded the medic, his master, and the three aim shinobi. What do we do? Oboro asked Mubi. Grab our fee and run. Mubi said as he went to grab the case containing the money, only for it to be pulled over to Naruto, who caught it and handed it off to his clone. Take that back to the inn and return here. He ordered the clone that flew off with the case. Bring that back. Kaguri shouted as the three aim shinobi tried to go after him, only to be suspended in midair and saw Naruto using his power on them. You three outlived your usefulness to me, so, later. He used his psychic to snap their necks, killing them. 3 down. Jiraiya said until they saw Kabuto and Orochimaru emerge from the smoke. Very clever, Naruto and Jiraiya, but unfortunately your plan was a failure. Orochimaru said. Not yet, it hasn't. Naruto replied as he and Jiraiya got red. Naruto, you handle Kabuto, I got Orochimaru. Jiraiya ordered. Normally I wouldn't take orders from you since I'm not your student anymore, but I have no time to argue. Naruto answered. Kabuto. Orochimaru ordered. Hi. Kabuto said as he got ready. And so both sides took off fighting while Naruto flew and tackled Kabuto to the other side of the bridge as they landed in the forest. Both Naruto and Kabuto got up as Naruto spoke. Fancy seeing you around here this time instead of sending in a patsy pretending to be you and your boss. Well, we thought about that, but then decided if the three were able to make it back and actually get their job done, we'd kill them and avoid any payment, Kabuto began, though given the state of things you took care of that job for us, so arigato. I didn't do that for you or your slime ball of a master, Naruto frowned. Nevertheless, you saved us a problem. It's a shame I have to kill you. Kabuto said as he got ready. You talk as if you can kill me. Naruto mocked. You may have power, but you're not immortal like Lord Orochimaru. Kabuto countered. Jumping from one meat suit to another is considered immortal to you? That's just him putting on another set of younger clothes, Naruto replied, except the ugly is more on the inside. Enough stalling. Kabuto called as he and Naruto engaged in combat, with both opponents matching blow to blow. You know, Kabuto, you may be a good medic shinobi, but let's see how well your talents help you with this. Naruto said as he held out his hand, and Kabuto suddenly felt something grip around his lateral incisor. With one large tug it was ripped out of his mouth. Kabuto screamed in pain as the tooth was ripped out of his mouth and the opening started bleeding. Hurts, doesn't it, Kabuto? Now let's play dentist some more. He continued using his power to rip out tooth after tooth inside Kabuto's mouth. With each tooth ripped out of his mouth, blood just flowed out through Kabuto's gums while the medic cried in agony. Well, Kabuto, you passed my dental exam. Downside is you won't be eating solid foods again. And to make sure you don't try anything fresh. He used his power to break Kabuto's wrists, elbows, shoulders, ankles, and knees, making the ninja drop to the ground. Damn you, Naruto. Kabuto mumbled due to having almost no teeth in his mouth. Naruto smirked until his clone arrived. Good timing, see to it he doesn't go anywhere. His clone nodded as the real one went off to find Jiraiya and Orochimaru. He discovered that Jiraiya and Orochimaru had taken their fight to a clearing section of the forest, throwing all they had at each other. Orochimaru sent his shadow snakes for Jiraiya, who formed a hand sign, Ninpu, Hari Jaizu, ninja art, underworld guardian spikes. And his hair grew and surrounded his body, forming its spiky barrier to protect his body from Orochimaru's snakes. Don't think you can fool me, Jiraiya. Orochimaru began, you forget I know all of your techniques, old comrade. Funny you say that, I know all of yours too. Jiraiya answered and called out his attack, Hari Jigaku, Hell Needles. A torrent of his spiked hair pieces launched from him like needles. Orochimaru jumped back, but wasn't fast enough to avoid all the needles and ended up getting some jammed into his legs. I will take great pleasure in killing you. Orochimaru called, about to unleash another jutsu until. Hey ass butt, forget about me. Naruto flew in, forming hand signs, Katon, Enden, Fireball. He blew a jet of fire at Orochimaru, who jumped aside, gaining a good long distance from his enemies. That's too close, the Hebe Sannin thought before speaking. What happened to Kabuto? The guy's alive, though he ain't gonna be doing much talking with his mouth for a while. Naruto answered humorously. You little brat, Orochimaru growled, it's because of you I lost my vessel, all my plans to become the ultimate shinobi down the drain. Well, forgive me for not feeling guilty. Naruto snarked back. How about feeling dead? Orochimaru called before unleashing his next jutsu, Madara no Jin, myriad snake net formation. He unleashed a torrent of serpents from his mouth that started turning into a giant wave of snakes rushing right for Naruto and Jiraiya. That's a lot of snakes. Naruto admitted until he saw all the snakes open their mouths and extending from them were Kusanagi blades. This is not good. Jiraiya said until Naruto spoke, Erosenin, go to a safe distance behind. What about you? I can handle these, punks. Watch this. Naruto said as he crossed his arms around his body, while concentrating his psychic energy around him, causing dirt and pebbles to float around him. As the snakes closed in on the boy, he let out a growl before he forcibly spread his arms apart, letting out a roar, releasing psychic waves all around him. Jiraiya quickly went for cover underneath a log as Naruto's waves ended up toppling multiple trees surrounding him, and destroy all of the snakes Orochimaru unleashed. When Naruto powered down, he was standing in a giant-sized crater that took up half the forest, giving it a giant bare spot. Orochimaru, who also got caught up in the attack, emerged from a pile of debris, looked all beaten up. Such power. Perhaps he could be a replacement host, he said to himself before groaning. Suddenly Orochimaru's mouth opened up and crawling out of it was Orochimaru, looking good as new with no scars or bruises. Naruto, who saw what he did, gagged and thought to Kurama, I think it's time we put an end to him, don't you, Kurama? I agree with you, Naruto. Kurama thought back as Naruto concentrated and was taking on his Bijou chakra mode, only for it to transform further until it looked like Naruto was wearing a longer fiery chakra jacket and dark seal lines. The whiskers on his cheeks solidified into dark bars. Alright Orochimaru, it's go time. Naruto flew at the speed of light, faster than using Hiraishin. He was flying right for Orochimaru as his chakra arms started forming an Utama Rasengan into his palm, and thrusted it into the villain's chest as he was set hurtling backwards across the bare spot of the forest as Naruto had still pinned his jutsu into his chest. Suddenly something flew out from Orochimaru's mouth, going behind Naruto. The boy had stopped forcing his jutsu into Orochimaru's body and let it crash onto the ground. Naruto spun around and to his horrific surprise saw a giant white snake whose body was made up of several white snakes and its head looked like Orochimaru's, only more demonic-like. Dude, you fugly. Naruto said while containing his shock. The giant white serpent in response to him launched right for Naruto, who jumped back as the snake hit the ground. Jiraiya meanwhile got up and saw what was happening. Oh no, I got to help him. He hurried to their spot. Naruto kept jumping around avoiding the snake's mouth while taunting him, seriously? You're one slow snake. Before the snake could make another attempt to attack Naruto, a voice called out from above, Kuchios, Yatai Kazushi no Jutsu, Food Cart Destroyer Technique. Suddenly appearing above them was one of the giant toads known as Gamahiro that dropped down from the sky and crushed Serpent Orochimaru. Awesome! Naruto called. That about does it. Jiraiya said, feeling confident until he could feel the ground below them shake and Serpent Orochimaru emerged from another part of the area. Oh great! Naruto sighed. Serpent Orochimaru lunged at Gamahiro, who jumped and drew his sword, slicing at the giant snake. Naruto watched the two giants go at it, but Gamahiro's swords weren't doing the trick. Hang on, Erosenin. Naruto called as he concentrated, and suddenly he was standing atop Kurama, manifested through Naruto's Bijou chakra and was marked by the same developed seal that held him within Naruto. Oh yeah. It's been a while since I could stretch like this. Kurama called in relief. Jiraiya and Gamahiro were in shock seeing Kurama manifested through Naruto's chakra, while Orochimaru deep down was just as surprised. Let's go, Kurama. Naruto called as Kurama charged and attacked the giant serpent, whipping its 9 fiery tails at him. Serpent Orochimaru hissed as it lunged at Kurama, coiling around him, and attempted to squeeze it to death. Let go. Kurama bit into the serpent's body, but it just wasn't letting go. Naruto looked behind him, seeing the serpent's head. Taking advantage of it, he stood still and entered into Sennin mode and conjured a Cho-Utama Rasengan and flew at the serpent's face, nailing him. The attack was so strong it forced Serpent Orochimaru to loosen its hold on Kurama and was able to break free. That was the worst bear hug I could ever ask for. Kurama growled. You'd never ask for a bear hug anyway, Naruto snarked at him before calling out to Jiraiya, Arrow Sennin, Swamp Underworld go. Acknowledging his former pupil's request, Jiraiya performed some hand signs, Doton, Yomi Numa, Earth Style, Swamp of the Underworld. Suddenly a vast swamp appeared below Serpent Orochimaru and started swallowing him. Now you and Gamahiro move away, this last attack is going to be big. Naruto ordered as they did so. With the sage and Toad safely away from them, Kurama started gathering up chakra into his mouth as Naruto and a clone started molding the chakra into a perfect sphere until it was perfected. Alright Kurama, let him have it. Bijudama, Bijou Ball. Kurama shouted as he unleashed a powerful chakra blast that nailed Serpent Orochimaru, who hissed in pain as it was incinerated into ash and dust. Naruto looked into the distance, seeing the Bijudama left a long trail of destruction. He leaped off Kurama's head and floated before facing the giant chakra manifested Bijou and smiled, nicely done, Kurama. Kurama smiled back and chuckled, you too. So the Bijou raised his giant paw up and turned it into a fist. Naruto raised his fist up and flew up to Kurama's fist before giving it a fist bump. After that, Kurama's chakra form returned to Naruto as he descended down to the ground, powering his full Bijou chakra mode down. Jiraiya got down from Gamahiro, who poofed back to Mount Myaboku. Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a blank look on his face before it curled into a smile. Naruto, you did it. We did it, Arrow Sennin, you, me, and Kurama. Yeah. Jiraiya agreed. We better get back to my clone and Kabuto, come on. Naruto ordered as they headed back. When they left, poking up from the ground was Zetsu. Well, isn't this intriguing? White Zetsu asked. Yes, we better let the leader know. Black Zetsu said as he sunk back into the ground. When Naruto and Jiraiya returned, they saw the clone of Naruto keeping watch while Kabuto was face down on the ground looking out cold. What the hell happened? Jiraiya asked in surprise. Naruto went up to Kabuto, picking his head up, and looked, seeing the teeth he spared from ripping out of Kabuto's mouth were gone, leaving him toothless and with bloody gums. What did you do? Naruto asked his clone. The guy wouldn't shut up with his mumbling. So I yanked the rest of his teeth out and he passed out from blood loss. The clone explained. Jiraiya cringed at how painful that had to be. Well, good job, Naruto. Orochimaru's gone for good and we have Kabuto. When or if he wakes up, we'll be able to find out more about the Akatsuki from his mind. Jiraiya said as he summoned one of his medium-sized toads. Take Kabuto back to Konoha and hand him over to the interrogation corps. Jiraiya ordered as the toad did so, disappearing with Kabuto. Naruto looked at his former master. Well, Arrow Sennin, we destroyed Orochimaru and captured Kabuto. What now? Jiraiya smirked, like you need to ask. It faded to Naruto and Jiraiya at the bar back in town. Jiraiya popped the cork of a sake bottle and called out, we celebrate. I hear that. Naruto chuckled as Jiraiya poured some sake into his saucer. This was a great success. We stopped Orochimaru, and we ended up getting the AIM Ninja's payment. Jiraiya smiled. And we agreed to split it 50-50. Naruto reminded Jiraiya, knowing how he could be stingy with money, especially that time when he took his savings while they were looking for Tsunade. Yes, Naruto, Jiraiya nodded as they continued having their drink. So what are you going to do after this? Well, I'm gonna fly out to beach country and have some fun in the sun. After this victory, I'm gonna have some downtime. I see. Well, hope you see a lot of good-looking girls there. and if it's possible give me some data on the type of girls there? The old man pleaded desperately. Naruto sighed, of course, Ero Sennin. That's my godson. Jiraiya patted his godson's shoulder. Siko then approached looking down at Naruto, don't forget Mr. Uzumaki, you have an appointment tonight. She winked. Right, Naruto nodded as she walked away and turned back to his godfather, I'm gonna be having some fun tonight. He chuckled as a bit of the sake was kicking in. Then let's savor the moment we have before you engage in your double dose of fun, eh? Jiraiya asked as they clinked their saucers together and sipped their sake. Later that night in a cave, the silhouettes of the Akatsuki members minus Sasori who had been replaced with Tobi were at meeting. So what's this emergency meeting about? Kisame asked. I have news from Zetsu regarding our former comrade, Orochimaru. Pain began grabbing the group's attention. What about him? Kakuzu asked. He's dead. What? He's actually dead. Who did it? Kisame asked. It was none other than Naruto Uzumaki. The members minus Itachi shared a look of disbelief as Deidara growled, damn it. I wanted to be the one to kill Orochimaru. It was an intense battle, though he did not do it by himself, Zetsu began, Jiraiya-sama had a part in this as well, but Naruto has shown he has full mastered his control over the Kyuubi, he could prove to be impossible for one of us to take him on alone. You give a brat too much credit, Zetsu. Haiden let out a snide remark. Hey, if you recalled, religious freak, he tore my arms off. Deidara called. And he nuked mine and Itachi's stand-ins with little effort. Kisame added. Oh dear, when you put it that way I'm glad we don't have to go after him until we collect the other 7. Tobi shivered. There's still a problem with that, Itachi pointed out, when Sasori and Deidara went to capture Gaara. Naruto immediately showed up. I think he may be onto us. How, does he have his own spy network? Deidara asked. I highly doubt that. Kisame replied. Whatever the case, we need to be on high alert, Pain explained. If he was able to show up when Gaara was abducted, he could very well end up showing up where the other Jinchuriki are. And if he was able to eliminate Orochimaru, there's an off chance he could eliminate any of us if we're careless. Conan added. Hey, he thought he had me, but I survived. Deidara shot. By a whim. Oops, did I say that out loud? Tobi asked. Tobi. I'm gonna kill you. Deidara growled. Knock it off. Pain ordered, Haiden, Kakuzu, you two will be in charge of collecting the Nibi Jinchuriki. That shouldn't be a problem, I hope. Man, why partner me up with this guy? All he cares about is making money, and I hate people like that. Haiden complained. You're no prize to be around either. Kakuzu grumbled. What was that? Haiden called. Silence. Pain bellowed, we'll report back if more develops. Until then, you all know your job. He finished as the silhouettes vanished. Today had been a beautiful day for Naruto, not only weather-wise, but because he was feeling absolutely great. After defeating Orochimaru, he felt as if a great weight was lifted off him. He had been flying through the sky laughing and cheering like a little kid in a candy store. Oh yeah. Naruto cheered as he did some corkscrew spins through some clouds, leaving behind holes in the center. He started doing some dives only to fly right back up, only to dive again with the same repeated process. He laughed while flying and said out loud, I don't think I've ever felt this happy in my life. Naruto, in front of you. Kurama called. Naruto looked ahead and to his shock saw himself flying right into a flock of seagulls. He screamed as he collided with one that started thrashing around in his face. Stop! Get away from me! Naruto shouted as he struggled to pull the wild and squawking seagull out of his face. He finally pulled it out and it flew off, joining the rest of the flock again. Stupid bird. Well, that's what you get for not watching where you're flying. Kurama replied dully. Oh, shut it, Kurama, Naruto grumbled as he continued flying until he looked down, seeing a tropical-looking paradise. I've made it. The beach country. He glided down eagerly to make it to the resort he told Jiraiya he'd go to as a personal celebration for killing Orochimaru. After checking in at the resort close to the beach, he was in his luxurious suite unpacking. "I can't wait to get down to the beach, I'm going to have such a blast," he said excitedly as he rolled out his black and red trunks along with a pair of matching flip-flops. "Maybe if I'm lucky I'll make a tan." "Be careful, Naruto. Or you'll burn." Kurama joked. "I'll worry about that," Naruto replied as he got changed. Soon he was dressed in his trunks, flip-flops, and sunglasses. He walked out from the resort and to the beach. It was absolutely a perfect day to be on the beach with a warm sun and a cool breeze that blew through his hair making it wave. As he walked he saw multiple tourists stemming from married couples, dating couples, and single people enjoying several beach activities from sunbathing, swimming, barbecuing, and even some of the single people glancing around at other people. "Ah, this is what I'm talking about." He whistled to himself as he looked around. "You know, this would be a lot better if I had someone to share it with," he admitted to himself until he suddenly felt a pair of arms wrap around his stomach and a large pair of breasts press into his back. "Hello." He gasped from the sudden soft orbs pressing into his back. "Miss me, Naruto?" a familiar half-stoic voice asked him. Naruto, upon hearing the voice, spun around, coming face to face with Chao of the Lihua Inn. "Chao?" he gasped in shock. "Who else?" Naruto stood there eyeballing the radiant beauty in a tight black two-piece bikini that showed off her flawless body. "Wow. This is unexpected." "Likewise," she replied. "Are you here by yourself?" the redhead asked curiously. "No, my mother is here with me," she answered. "Well, where is Mingju?" Suddenly Naruto got his answer as he felt another pair of arms wrap around his body and an even larger pair of breasts press into the back of his head, making his blush increase. "You called, Naruto?" a flirtatious voice he knew too well asked. Naruto smiled. "Mingju, I knew you wouldn't be too far behind." The older woman released Naruto as he turned to face her. Much like his reaction to seeing Chao in her bikini, Naruto was equally surprised and aroused by the goddess of a woman wearing a purple two-piece bikini with the top not looking big enough to contain her massive mammaries. Seeing his reaction to her appearance and choice in swimwear, she decided to toy with him. "Like what you see, Naruto?" She struck a pose while winking and blowing a kiss. Naruto, having been through this more than once with both her and Chao, was able to keep calm. "Oh yeah. I love what I'm looking at. Though what are you two doing here?" "Why, Chao and I are taking a vacation, of course," Mingju said like it was obvious. "The inn is currently undergoing renovations, so we sent our workers on a much-needed break," Chao added. "Since everyone knows this is the ideal place for a getaway, we've decided to come here," Mingju finished. "So what brings you here, Naruto?" "I'm taking a break myself," he began. "I just finished a huge fight that was quite a spectacle." "You don't say?" Mingju asked with interest. "What kind of fight was it?" Chao asked. Naruto spoke. "Look, let me get relaxed and I'll tell you both all about it." The two looked to each other and nodded, offering to help Naruto set up a spot on the beach. Soon Naruto was sitting on a blanket under an umbrella with Mingju on his right and Chao on his left. "So Naruto, you gonna tell us about this fight you've had?" the older woman asked. "Well, this took place about 2 days ago actually," Naruto began. "You both know about how I've come face to face with Orochimaru, right?" "Orochimaru, of the legendary Sannin." Chao nodded, recalling his story. "Yeah, well, I killed him," Naruto bluntly explained. The two did a double take, looking surprised. "You killed one of the legendary Sannin all by yourself?" Mingju gasped. "Well, I didn't do it all by myself. It was a team effort of myself and my former mentor Jiraiya," he admitted. "How did you do it?" Chao asked, eager to hear. "Well, a week ago I was being hunted by 3 aimed shinobi Orochimaru hired to assassinate me," he began. "I captured and interrogated them, getting the info out of Orochimaru, including where they were meant to rendezvous. I went to Kusa and ran into Erosenin. I explained to him my plan and he followed through. Though we got halfway through fooling Orochimaru and his number 2 man, Kabuto, they eventually saw through and attacked us. I handled Kabuto while Erosenin went to fight Orochimaru. I handled Kabuto easily by ripping his teeth out. He smirked with pride. Ouch. Chao said. Once I apprehended Kabuto, I went to help Erosenin against Orochimaru. The baka ended up shedding out of his body and took on this hideous disgusting snake monster form. Using my Jinchuriki power with help from Erosenin's own jutsu, we incinerated Orochimaru into nothing. He finished. My. Mingzhu gasped with a hand to her mouth. That sounds wild. Chao added. Yeah, so I decided to come down to this place to celebrate and relax. Hadn't taken account I'd run into the two of you. He admitted. First surprise of the day? Mingzhu asked. Obviously. Well, as long as all three of us are here, why don't we spend it together? Chao suggested. Mingzhu's smile brightened up and latched onto her daughter, nuzzling her cheek. A wonderful suggestion, Chao. What do you say, Naruto? Naruto blushed, seeing how close the two beauties were, but answered the question. That sounds like a splendid idea. Then let's go for a swim. Chao said as she stood up and offered Naruto a hand. Naruto looked up at her and then Mingzhu offering him a hand as well while smiling. Smiling back, Naruto took both hands as they helped him to his feet. Let's go. He cheered as the three ran for the water. When they got into it, they started swimming around and splashing each other, which Naruto enjoyed the most, seeing that as they splashed him or each other their breasts shook. Oh man, Erosenin would kill to be here, he thought. Naruto, who had dove underwater for fun, rose up and shook his hair around. Oh yeah. This is refreshing. Mingzhu, who was standing up in the water, nodded. I know. With all the hard work me and Chao do every day at our inn, it's nice to be able to kick back and enjoy life. Speaking of Chao, where is that daughter of mine? She looked from side to side. Naruto suddenly noticed Chao sneaking up behind her mother. Her hands went to the older woman's bikini top and undid the cords around her neck. Chao threw the two cords downward, making the top fall. On instinct, Mingzhu caught the top and held it to her chest. She turned around and gasped, seeing her daughter, who had her hands to her mouth trying to suppress a giggle. Chao. Mingzhu gasped while giggling herself. Sorry mother, but I wanted to see the look on Naruto's face. She explained as she saw Naruto standing in place with an agape jaw. That is a funny look, Mingzhu admitted, but you know you can only do that to me in front of Naruto when we're not in public. I know mother. She playfully acted guilty. Good, now be a good girl and redo your mother's top. She ordered as Chao retied her mother's bikini top so it wouldn't fall down when she stopped holding it to her chest. Naruto shook off the look on his face, who held it in that shocked form just to amuse them. What say we go grab a drink? He offered. Are you buying? Chao asked. This time. He answered. Lead the way then, big boy. Mingzhu winked as he walked past them and received a playful slap on his behind. Soon the three got out of the water and headed to a food stand. Soon they were each sitting on a stool at the counter having a cool refreshing drink, with Naruto sitting in the middle. Nothing like a cool beverage on a hot day. Naruto sighed as he took a sip. I'll say. This heat can really get to you. Mingzhu nodded. Will you put sunscreen on us after this, Naruto? Chao asked. I'd be delighted to, ladies. Naruto nodded until two muscle-bound guys, with one having dark hair and the second had white hair, approached. Both were wearing speedos and got on either girl's side. Hey there ladies, aren't you a fine piece of work? The dark-haired one asked Mingzhu. Mingzhu looked at him. I have to say, out of all the come-on lines I've ever been given, that one's been overused. She joked, having preferred if Naruto would say that. Ouch. The one with dark said sarcastically, hurt. Come on, why don't you two come and join us for a walk? The white-haired one offered, we'll make it worth your while. We pass. Chao answered casually. Come on, 10 minutes tops. The dark-haired one tried to persuade them until Naruto spoke up, having gotten tired of their lame attempts. Hey. Didn't you hear the ladies? They said, no. Buzz off, loser, and mind your own business. The dark-haired one brushed Naruto off as they continued trying to pick the two up. Naruto scowled to himself as he had to get rid of them the hard way. He stuck his hands under the counter and moved both his wrists in a circular fashion. Suddenly the rotating stools the two were sitting on started spinning out of control in a cartoon-like fashion while the guys screamed dizzily. Suddenly he stopped and the two flew off their stools before crashing onto the sand, sliding along, leaving a trail before they stopped. They lifted their heads up before spitting out sand. Oops. Naruto chuckled along with the two, who found that to be hilarious. Arigato, Naruto, for taking care of the problem. Chao thanked him. No problem. He replied. After their drinks, the three were back by their spot on the beach with Mingzhu and Chao lying face down on their chests. Naruto kneeled above them holding a sunscreen bottle in one hand. Okay girls. Ready for coding? Take it away. Chao answered. Yeah, Naruto, take it away. Mingzhu agreed. Naruto nodded as he undid the two cords of both bikini tops. He started squirting some sunscreen into his hand. He rubbed both hands together and leaned down, spreading it on Mingzhu's back. Oh Naruto. Oh, that's the right spot. She moaned in delight as Naruto continued lathering it on her back. Soon Naruto finished and spoke. How's that, Mingzhu? That's great, Naruto. I feel much better. She admitted with a blush from how gentle his touch was. Alright Chao, you're next. Naruto said as he squeezed some more of the stuff into his hand and rubbed them together before applying it to the younger girl's back. That feels good, Naruto. Chao moaned as she relaxed and let Naruto work his magic fingers. Naruto enjoyed the feeling of both of their soft and smooth skin against his palms and thought, oh man. Today is turning out to be better than I ever imagined it would be. Well, having these two ladies with you would make the day feel spectacular. Kurama thought back. I know. Soon Naruto finished Chao and she spoke. Arigato, Naruto. Now I'm ready for the sun. You're welcome. When we're done, how about we do the same to you? Mingzhu offered. I'd love that. He admitted as he kicked back and enjoyed himself. Soon it was getting late, and all the tourists were packing it in. Naruto, Mingzhu, and Chao were walking back to the resort as the redhead spoke. So girls, interested in spending the night in my suite? Like you need to ask? Chao asked. We always spend the night in any room you're in, Naruto. Mingzhu reminded him. Not counting the last time I was at the inn. Naruto replied, reminding them that with all his old comrades there he didn't want them to see he was that close with the two. Soon they returned to Naruto's room at the resort. Nice. Chao admitted as she marveled at how posh and luxurious the room looked. It feels homey just like the rooms at our inn. Mingzhu added. What say we take a bath, girls? Naruto suggested. Sounds good to me. The older woman agreed. Me too. Chao added. Well then let's go. Naruto said as they entered the bathroom. Once they got in, Naruto stepped out of his trunks and hung them off to the side to dry. Both Mingzhu and Chao removed their bikinis and hung them off to the side with Naruto's trunks. The three entered, and after completing the first task of soaking they were sitting on stools shampooing themselves up. We really did have a lot of fun today, Naruto. Arigato. Mingzhu thanked him. We really appreciate it. Chao added. Hey, it was my pleasure, Naruto said as he washed the shampoo out of his hair. He suddenly found the two behind him. Girls. We thought you'd like some help washing your back. Mingzhu said while smiling. Especially after the nice work you did for us on the beach. Chao reminded him of how he put sunscreen on them. Naruto smiled. Well, okay girls. And so both ladies took turns washing his back as he relaxed. So Naruto, what else has been happening with you since we last saw you? Mingzhu asked. Well, a lot, I can tell you that. He answered. Was there anything big, besides your victory over Orochimaru? Chao asked. Naruto thought back, still feeling he should tell no one about Itachi and his secret, but knew one thing he could tell them, well, actually one other thing that happened before I killed Orochimaru, that was weeks ago. What was that? Mingzhu asked. I ran into the Akatsuki organization. Akatsuki? Chao gasped. My. Mingzhu gasped with a hand over her mouth. Yeah, but it couldn't be helped. I was trying to save a friend. He explained. Who? Chao asked. Gaara, Suna's Kazika-gi. Yes, the Jinchuriki for the Ichibi. Mingzhu said, recalling Naruto explain about the Jinchuriki and one of which being his friends. That's right. I was actually in the demolished Yuzushiogakure looking for peace and quiet. While I was meditating one night, I saw a vision of Suna being attacked by the Akatsuki and Gaara was being abducted. I wasted no time in flying out to Suna to see if it was true. Sadly it was. So what happened? Chao asked. Well, by luck my old team had arrived by request of Baki, and with Kankuro snatching one of the Akatsuki members' robes we were able to track them back to their hideout. However, by the time we got there it was already too late. Shikaku was extracted from Gaara, and he died. Oh no. Mingzhu gasped. My team was left to deal with one of the two members while I went after the other. I fought him with all my might, but in the end he blew himself to pieces. When I reunited with my team we all brought Gaara back. We thought there was nothing we could do for them, but Suna's eldest Kunoichi Lady Chiyo used her own special revival jutsu to give Gaara life again at the cost of her own life. What a relief. Chao admitted. Yeah, that day left a big impact on me, Naruto continued. If it weren't for the vision I had of Gaara being abducted I never would have gone there, and if I never went there we probably never would have gotten Gaara back. I may have failed to save Gaara, but I swore I would never make that mistake again with anyone else. Naruto. The two gasped, seeing how much Naruto went through since they last saw him. Don't worry, what happened has happened. The Akatsuki may still be out there, but I'm not worried. Should I run into any more of them I'll be ready. The two smiled as they hugged him from behind. He blushed at the feeling of both their impressive chests press into his back. Girls. That's the Naruto we love. Chao said as she rested her head on his left shoulder. Never faltering on the roads that lie ahead, Mingzhu began, no matter what obstacles you face you learn from them and keep moving forward. With an attitude like that you'll make a great village leader. Naruto smiled, arigato, girls. After their orgy fest, the three were lying under the covers of the bed as Naruto was lying in the middle of both girls. That was amazing, girls. I'm glad we had the chance to do this. So are we. Chao said as she cuddled Naruto while on his left side, resting her head on his shoulder while she intertwined her one leg with his own. On his right side Mingzhu was doing the same as well. How much longer you intend on staying here, Naruto? Mingzhu asked. Another 2 days at the most. Naruto admitted. That's more than enough time for us. The bustier woman smiled as she pecked his cheek. We'll have more time to have even more fun tomorrow. And the nights as well. Chao added, pecking his cheek. Naruto rolled over and kissed Chao's lips before rolling over to his other side and kissed Mingzhu as well. Thanks, girls. Well, good night. Good night, Naruto. They said as the three fell asleep and were left to dream of blissful and erotic fantasies. Chapter end. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Peace out.